Welcome to our webinar covering the use of mobile billing and messaging for iGaming. My name is Patrick McGugan and I'm the Digital Marketing Manager here at txtNation. Today we'll be looking at how to increase conversion rates for new sign-ups along with retention rates for existing customers. Today's presenters are Michael Greenberg, txtNation's NBDO for the iGaming industry, and Danny Marino, txtNation's CBDO. Michael has worked with a number of gaming and gambling businesses on a consultancy basis and has developed a great deal of insight into the industry. Danny has worked at txtNation in the mobile billing and messaging industry for 8 years. So without further ado.
Thanks very much, Patrick. And good afternoon, everyone. Thanks again for joining this live webinar this afternoon. I hope during the next 15 minutes we can walk you through how, as an operator, you can optimize your payment strategies for mobile and tablet services, as well as increasing customer engagement through the use of mobile SMS solutions. For those of you who are not currently aware of txtNation, just to give you a little bit of an overview, we're a mobile billing and messaging solution provider. We work directly with mobile network operators in countries right across the globe to deliver solutions in both payments and messaging, which enable you to reach customers in the most accessible and cost-effective way. txtNation was founded in 2002. It's grown to be one of the largest official network operator partners for these types of solutions in the world. So we provide bespoke solutions for companies from a wide range of industries, although we specialize in specific areas too. So on that note, I'm working specifically with gambling operators to roll out mobile optimized payment flows, just to ensure that they can capitalize on the rapidly growing mobile traffic everyone is experiencing, as more and more consumers expect to be able to experience services on the move via their smartphone and tablet devices. The statistics are showing us that gambling and gaming operators offering services across mobile and desktop, they're seeing 50% of their customers using both to play. Interestingly enough, with up to 30% of their player community preferring to play only through their mobile devices. So mobile is very quickly becoming the primary screen, and as an operator, you need to be thinking about your mobile strategy if you're going to keep up with the first movers in the market, already tapping into this shift in consumer behavior and expectation. The mobile gambling market is set to be worth more than 100 billion by 2017. And what you can't do, and often is a common mistake, is try to just move everything from your desktop services over to mobile and expect that to work. It just doesn't quite happen like that. So many operators that we're speaking to, they're already delivering a very strong proposition through mobile with latest HTML5 content. But you need to approach mobile with a truly holistic view, enabling flows from registration through to depositing and withdrawal, which are relevant to mobile and which offer the most streamlined and accessible experience to your players. txtNation helps you do this with two powerful tools, which will allow you to achieve higher conversion rates for depositing on mobile, but as well as allowing you to gain access to real-time communications with your community to improve that retention. So if we go on to the next slide, we can see the markets that where we can use mobile billing for gambling. Obviously, due to regulation, we're limited at the moment, but we also support a further 80+ markets for operator billing for virtual, non-real money, social gambling gaming. So on to the next. Let's look at the payments and how they're working. So as customers are using smaller screens on their mobiles compared to desktop, entering credit card details can be fiddly. You really want to make that mobile spending experience as easy and frictionless as possible. txtNation has worked hard to develop payment mechanisms which involve as fewer steps as possible and no pre-registration requirements in order to make first deposits as simple as possible within the potential to deposit just one single click. Mobile payments allow a customer to make small deposits, for example, up to £30 per day in the UK, quick, very, very easy, via the mobile phone account. The charge is applied to the mobile phone bill and the transaction is completed silently to the handset, enabling them to stay within your existing checkout environment and continue to play. By introducing this simple step, where a user would typically have to enter credit card details, which is not very easy on mobile, then we're seeing operators increase conversion rates on mobile traffic for up to 60%. So an increase, really significant increase. An increase in conversions is contributed by several factors. We've got convenience, so reducing the payment steps from 21 clicks down to 2. Accessibility and fun, so for those casual players without a credit card or wishing to defer the cost. And then of course impulse. You can capitalize more immediately by making the process quick and easy and removing any potential barriers which might mean someone abandons your mobile offering before making that first deposit. Okay, so let me walk you through the payment experience in practical terms so you can see just how easy it is. So for this example, we've got a single click payment. Single click payment is where the software detects the user's mobile number. That's either through a cookie or on the second payment or through MSISDN forwarding, and the user then simply clicks a button and pays. Next slide. We have a single click. Where the single click payments aren't available, we use the PIN entry payment flow. The user enters their phone number, receives a PIN number, one-time password, and enters it to gain access to the service. So we're not suggesting that you implement this in a replacement of any other payment mechanism. A good payment strategy, whether mobile or desktop, should include a range of payment options in order that you can capture revenue from the highest percentage of your audience as possible. Implementing mobile payments for those quick £30 pay and play moments is perfect, and it complements your existing options to ensure that you reduce the number of lost opportunities where, a quick and convenient option like this would have helped. These payments are not here to cannibalize your existing revenues on credit card. We recognize after speaking to operators that they may see that as a potential concern. In fact, what we're finding in reality is that customers who pay through credit card will just continue to go that route. What mobile payments allow you to do is just close that gap on those customers who would otherwise abandon because they lose the impulse. So I hope that's given you a quick overview on payments. If anyone's wishing to have a more detailed discussion with me about conversion rates, the results we're seeing, then please contact me following the webinar and we can speak directly. Okay, so we'll just move on to SMS messaging. This is proving extremely effective for the operators that we're working with. So before mobile devices grew in popularity, when end users accessed online games only on their desktops, the methods of communication that reached them where they played were online advertising, website, email, now what have become very traditional methods. Now that users are on mobile, they can be reached by far more communication methods where they play, including SMS messaging, which is far higher open and response rates than email. In fact, it takes 90 minutes for the average person to respond to an email, but just 90 seconds for the average person to respond to a text message. So, again, SMS, it's a seriously powerful tool for communicating with your customers and in real time. You can be really creative with SMS messaging campaigns. These are messages which are free for customers to receive, and the feedback has been that the large majority enjoy receiving them. These messages can be used for general notifications and alerts. For example, getting customers to log in and provide their ID for your KYC steps, through to customer alerts confirming withdrawal requests and receipting. These are personal, direct messages which can create a relationship with the players, which is not achievable easily through other forms of communication like email. So SMS messaging is much more personalized, and importantly, it's real time, enabling you to gain reactions from your campaigns at times you think strategically advantageous to be broadcasting to your audience. Retention SMS messages are working incredibly well to draw players back into the deposit and continue playing. The big advantage when using SMS to drive traffic through to your mobile website or app is that they simply click within the SMS to access a direct link to your site. This gives you an opportunity to present customers with special offers and incentives, which are readily available through a simple click-through on the message that you send them. Running incentives to get players engaging with your content more is great, but you need eyeballs on the offer in order for it to be effective. Driving traffic in real time via SMS retention messages is ideal to do this. In addition, we're also seeing SMS marketing campaigns to unregistered customers result in a high percentage of new acquisitions. So messaging is cost effective compared to other marketing channels, and with up to 8% conversion rates on new acquisition, really powerful tool. Again, especially when your objective is to drive new registrations through your mobile site, where people can click through directly on the SMS message to access your site and register. So as a company, txtNation work closely with operators to identify their target audience profiles. Once we understand this, we can source mobile data where customers have shown interest in products similar to yours, normally within 3 months. This is very qualified and targeted data, and it's giving us some great results. That's all from me. So I'm just going to pass you over to Danny Marino, who's txtNation's Chief Business Development Officer, and he's going to be running through a case study for a company that we've just started recently working for. Thanks.
Thanks for that, Michael. Really insightful. So hello, everyone. My name's Danny Marino. I'm Chief Business Development Officer here at txtNation. Just a really quick note on 32Red. It's a great case study. 32Red approached txtNation with the objective to convert more of their mobile traffic. They found that with such a powerful mobile offering in terms of the content that they provide, that they were attracting a large number of first-time players to their mobile site rather than their desktop. So, for them as a business, it was really important that they were able to convert a greater number of those player deposits and make the mobile experience of registering and obviously making that initial deposit as streamlined and easy as possible. So, working with us in the UK, using the official mobile network operator solution Payforit, and we saw some of those screens when Michael was speaking. 32Red were able to implement a very easy single-click depositing mechanism for amounts up to £30. They actually saw an increase in first deposits on mobile by up to 60%. So, what they also saw actually alongside that was many of the repeat players coming in again and saying, look, can I use Payforit as an ongoing channel to make more deposits? So it works really well. Their players really enjoyed paying that way. As Michael was saying earlier, it gave them the convenience, the impulse, and the streamlined flow that was relevant to mobile. And it isn't just about saying, we've got good content on mobile, let's just include everything over from desktop and do the same as what we're doing here. It's a slightly different world, and using Pay by Mobile, introducing it as part of your overall payment strategy is one way of overcoming some of the challenges of going mobile. 32Red have done extremely well using Pay by Mobile. They've now introduced it into their new HTML5 product, and that continues to grow. So for those guys, in terms of their overall mobile strategy, if you like, Pay by Mobile has become an integral piece of that. So that's 32. Just moving on, what we want to do now is open up to questions. So if anyone's listening and has any questions about the products, txtNation, mobile gambling, going mobile, or anything else, please use the chat box on the left-hand side of your screens. Enter your questions there, and we'll answer as many as we can. Okay, so I've got a question coming in regarding how easy is it to integrate Payforit. Payforit, in terms of integration, there's a couple of different methods. We've got an API. There's an API solution. So if you want a deeper integration into content, and you're able to do that in terms of control of the content, then we have an API solution for that via HTTP or SMTP protocols. We also have an embed flow, which you can generate via an online web tool, which is very easy, in fact, and you can set that up in a few minutes. So next question. Are there any restrictions using your SMS service in France? I suppose there's two sides to that, Josh. In terms of the messaging, so if you're looking at marketing and retention messages, then no, and we have connectivity for MT termination, SMS messaging to all of the network operators in France. In terms of real money gaming and collecting payments, then there is currently a restriction in terms of that side of it. So you could, to answer that question, marketing and retention messages, yes. Currently for payments, the answer would be no. We've got a question coming in from Shiloh regarding the net revenue from a £30 transaction. From £30, you're looking at circa around 84–85% payout. What we're finding is, in terms of the transaction fees, is of course, the initial response is, oh, that's a little bit more expensive than perhaps what I'm paying on credit card and other more traditional billers. I think the point here with that is that what we're seeing is a really relevant streamlined mobile flow. So you end up with increased conversions. The other side of it is it's about implementing Pay by Mobile positioning it in the right place for you. So if it's only for first deposits in terms of pulling that customer in on the mobile, converting them to other means later, then by all means that's a good strategy. I'd had a recent chat with another operator, and he referred to the higher transaction fees as part of his marketing costs. Question from Nicola is, can we use the system for non-gambling purposes on iOS, BlackBerry and Windows 8? Okay, good question. Yes, so txtNation is a mobile billing and messaging hub. We aggregate connectivity from network operators all over the globe for more traditionally mobile content, of course, but other digital content and services via the web. So, in terms of our technology, we're able to take payments for a wide range of services, not just real money gaming. So in answer to that, yes. In terms of the platforms where it's applicable, iOS is a tricky one, of course. It's a ring-fence system. They want you to see you processing payments through iTunes and the App Store, so no to that. But BlackBerry and Windows 8, then absolutely yes. And Android, of course, and we see a large majority. I think recent statistics showed that up to 65% of mobile traffic in the world was through the Android platform, and our solution works perfectly well there. So. Question from Faye. So now looking at the 32 red cashier, and you can't see the payment method. Faye, it's a good question. It's available on some content, not on others, depending on the operator and the margins for each product. So, what we're able to do is share with you some case studies, and I think there's some URLs provided there where you can directly experience that. So, if you contact us after the webinar, I'll share those with you so you can take a look. Next question from Shiloh again, which is, what is the subscription billing process for the customer? Does an SMS have to be delivered to generate revenue? The short answer to that is yes, for markets outside of the UK, and where you're using pay for it, no, it's a single click, it's a direct charge. So there's no SMS involved other than the receipt that's delivered back to confirm payment. The way our product technology works rather is that if it's a single click flow, you hit submit, it's literally on a buy now button within the existing checkout environment. It posts the transaction request to the mobile network operator and secures the funds, and then they receive an SMS receipt to confirm that. If they're signing up for a subscription, the SMS receipt will give them all the details of that subscription in terms of how much the subscription costs and the frequency of those payments. A question coming in from Jax Ladisco is, does txtNation have a dedicated sales department for gaming clients? There is a focus on gambling, and obviously Michael Greenberg is more specifically our new business development officer for iGaming specifically. He's based in Gibraltar, but travels to London and Malta and various other places where he's meeting with operators. So the short answer to that again is Michael Greenberg.
Okay, so thanks for all those questions there. If you'd like to get in contact with us to ask any questions, Michael's email is up on the screen now, m.greenberg@txtnation.com, and his telephone number, and you can also add him on Skype. His username is MikeIntro. And if you have a look at our website, txtnation.com and gateway.txtnation.com, you can find more information on there. We will be sending the recording of this webinar around to everyone so you can have another look again, and we'll be putting the slides online. But thanks for joining us today, and I hope it was useful. Thank you.